Palo Alto.
It certainly is. This one involves an apartment complex where dozens of heroin arrests have already happened. And police say that yesterday's drug raid at the notorious Manhattan apartment complex probably will not be the last. The problem, they say, is now an international one. Heroin dealers coming up from Mexico to San Mateo County to sell their wares. Abby Goldman reports tonight on the growing Mexican connection.
Yesterday's raid at the Manhattan apartments, the fourth this year, yielded only a gram of black tar heroin and a handful of suspects. But a close look inside the place shows how much business is being done here. Razors are used to cut the heroin to put into plastic bags.
Every one of these scratches that you see on the counter of these cabinets is where deals have gone down. These are all scars, remnants of deals.
Over the past year and a half, more than 165 people have been arrested here for selling or using heroin. Virtually all the suspected dealers have been Mexican illegals. In fact, almost all the heroin dealers caught in this county over the past 3 years have come from the Mexican state of Michoacán.
They have the source. They can sell heroin cheaper than anybody else. They have basically chased what had been our traditional heroin dealers from the market.
Drug agents believe heroin made in the Michoacán city of Aguililla is hand-carried across the border by Mexicans who come to southern San Mateo County to sell it. Police say counting the number of Mexican heroin dealers here is like counting grains of sand on a beach. There's no organization, no Mexican mafia to track down, if you will. They're individuals who come here because there's already a large Mexican community. Housing is cheap, and there are plenty of buyers. But the dealers don't stay for long.
If they can come to the United States, if they can make $30,000 or $40,000, which is not out of the question, and be able to transfer that money back home, they can live quite well, maybe even set themselves up for the rest of their lives.
The assistant manager of the Manhattan apartments, herself from Michoacán, is familiar with that scenario, although not involved herself.
No keep the money over here. He left it to Mexico.
They send it all to Mexico?
Yeah.
Santos Salas, who brought his family here from Aguililla, despises the heroin trade, but $30,000, he says, would buy an estate back home. He'd be a rich man. Most Mexican dealers have no U.S. record, so they spend only 60 to 90 days in jail before being sent back to Mexico. To them, it's worth the risk.
The only way that we're going to have any control is by controlling the source in Mexico.
And that, frustrated county drug agents acknowledge, is out of their hands. In East Palo Alto, Abby Goldman, Channel 5, Eyewitness News.
The San Mateo County District Attorney